So, JaQuel Knight.
What's up? What's up?
How are you?
I'm awesome.
Good. You're just giving me so much positive vibes right now. I can't even lie. So, talk to me. Just tell me about this whole week. Tell me about it.
Okay. Night's industry intensive. You know, it's been a dream of mine to kind of travel and teach people a day in the life. Mm-hmm. You know, I think there's many people out there who want to know what it's like to be on stage with the greats and who want to do it as a career and just don't know or know how to get there, you know. So this week, myself and a good friend of mine who's from London, Rebby Rosie, you know, we've been talking for years about how can we help out? How can we help out? As simple as that. And we've just been talking years after year after year after year. And then this year I've been in London working a lot recently in London. And I was like, you know, let's go and just start in London. Let's start it. You know, let's start teaching. Let's make it a thing because don't ever teach. Mm-hmm. And so this week is a week of me teaching, you know, giving my knowledge, giving every little tidbit I know, you know, every 2 cents I have in my pocket, giving it out, you know, and sharing and loving on the talent here, you know, because with me coming here for work, you know, I'm often faced with the challenge of there being the lack of talent, you know, and it's like London shouldn't be lacking. It's fucking London, mm-hmm, you know, they should be lit as fuck and it should be difficult to book people because everyone should be lit, you know, and we should never have a budget big enough, you know. So it's like, how do you just start to pour love into the community and let people see themselves, you know, and let them know they can do it, you know, regardless if we've been beat up before, you know, but we can overcome.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what this week is. Night's industry intensive. You know, JaQuel giving his 2 cents and helping the community.
Right. I get you. No, I get you. It's beautiful to see because you're coming from the other side, literally, and you're bringing. I say your soul, like you're giving us your soul, like you're giving us your knowledge. It's deeper than dance. I feel like people need to understand that it's not just dance. It's not just 5, 6, 7, 8. Like it's a mental thing for me, especially for me. I feel like it's a mental process as well as a physical. Your body goes through so much bullshit, but your mind is like double that. And it's hard for dancers to, because we can go to classes all day long. We can train all day long. Do you know what I mean? But if we're not mentally progressing, there's no point. There's absolutely, and I feel like you have just come here and just killed everything. Like you've actually given people knowledge. So it's literally not just dance. It's like you've given like people hope. Because you know how it is. Like we always feel like we want to give up. Because dancers we don't get recognition, we don't get paid enough, or like, do you know what I mean? Or it's the competition's crazy. But it's ridiculous. Tell me about like going back in time. Like if you had someone like you, or did you have someone like you that done what you done? I don't know.
I think for me, growing up in dance, I was loved on, you know, whether it was my group of friends, whether it was choreographers I looked up to who I then met, you know, they loved on me. You know, everyone's like, well, you know, killing, keep it up, you know, keep it up, keep putting your heart into it. Don't never give up, you know, you can do it. You know, one day you'll be right. You know, I'll say, oh, I look up to you and I love you so much. And they'll say, no, you'll be better than me. One day you're gonna be on stage and you're gonna be right beside me and you can do it. And you're gonna go and you're gonna take over. And you know, these are the things how I was spoken to, you know, and these are your best in the world, you know, your Jamal Sims and your Rhapsody James and your Chuck Maldonados and your Dave Scotts and your Shane Sparks and your Nappy Tats, you know what I'm saying? These were the people that I traveled to work with and they just loved on me. And it was like, wow. You know, so, and then my friends, we would just teach each other. We loved it so much. And my friend Tiffany, she had a little studio in her basement and we would go and just literally from the end of school on a Friday, we would literally dance non-stop till
Sunday.
like 6 a.m. Monday morning.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like no sleep, you know, stinky, ain't showered in days, you know, just down there, go get some junk food, come back and dance, teaching each other, okay, who class you took this week? Okay, come teach everybody. Okay, let's make up some stuff. Oh, Christian just got in town from New York. Come teach us what you learned in New York. Like that was us, you know, and it was just love. We loved it. And I feel like now, you know, everything is getting lost. I feel like that's an art form in itself. That love and that passion is something. And with social media and YouTube and all these things, that's great. You know, they have their pros, you know, but they're also hindering what it's doing for the community in the sense of believing in hard work. You know, what's your work ethic like? You know, how proud are you of yourself to not do everything? You know, what are your goals? You know, how long do they last? And everything is looking like it's so quick and easy to obtain, you know, because people can put up a video and the next day they got 2 million followers and 100 million views, you know, but the real world, okay, which is still a world, okay, isn't like that. You know, people want you to work hard. They want you to know it's not easy. You know, you're going to get in here and you're going to be here all day, and, you know, we may not get to eat. We may not have too many water breaks. You know, it's going to be long hours. You know, we're going to figure this out. It's a long process, and you got to mentally be ready, you know. And that's how you grow, you know, and I just want people to know, yes, Insta fame is great and it has its place and time, you know, but there's still a foundation that's universal that we cannot lose. You have to work hard and you have to love it.
Well said. No, it's true. It's so true. I feel like people get lost, and especially Insta, there's pros and cons to everything, every damn thing. But Instagram is good because we have a way of, you know, promoting yourself. It's really good. But then
people, and it's great.
It's like, okay, then what next? So after you go viral and you get your views, what happens after that? What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? It's like that only lasts so long.
Only lasts so long. You know, and even like I find myself talking to people, and like they even go on and try to hire some of these people for jobs, you know, and they don't know how to do it. You know, you literally lack experience, you know. Just because you can look great because you've mastered the art of a selfie, you know, you can go and take pictures for supermodels now. You're not a photographer. You know, you're not a model. You know what I'm saying? Your supermodels will come in. It's not easy for them. You know, it wasn't a selfie, you know. So it's work. It's work behind it.
Wow. Okay. So I need to touch on this point. In terms of your movement, like how you create, I really want to know, like, you know, some people freestyle and then they get their moves like that, or they watch something and it inspires them. Like, how do you feel like you create? Like, how would you, if you was to make something today and you had to create for somebody, an artist, how would you start creating that piece of work or choreography?
So I always start with the music. You know, and that's literally me. If I'm home in LA, I get the track and I put it in my truck and I literally drive and blast it, you know. Or if I'm at home, I put it on my speaker in the bathroom. For some reason, that speaker's been...
the bass line.
Yes. And I have really great speakers in my living room, by the way, like, that are really good. But for some reason, it's my speaker in my bathroom that helps that I put things on repeat. I have some good old in-ears that we use on shows, and I walk around the city and just blast the record, and I just try to let the record sit in. You know, that's which, no matter who it is, what it is, it's me and the record. And I learned the record. I started to fill out the 808s and the bass lines and the guitars and the synths and vocal ranges and vocal harmonies, stats and, you know, where's the lead vocal happening and when are the backs coming in and how do you feel when that come in and what does that do and how does the pocket sit and, you know, how can the pocket then translate to people, you know, that's my next step, you know, what can I do now that can translate to you in a social environment, you know, and make this a social thing and not so of its world, you know, how can you connect more with the movement? You know, so then I just started to see movement. I just started to move a little bit. And, you know, it's really a bunch of nothing. And then, and then eventually I end up maybe whatever my body feels it want to do after hours of listening to it, days, weeks of listening to it without dancing, okay?
Right.
Then I started to dance to it, you know, and then I started to explore everything I've thought of, you know, how does that pour out of me? So I do it in my mirror in my little hallway. And I'm starting to get smart about recording myself and I just dance for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes and don't touch anything and redo things and start to find pockets of movement that sit with how I hear it. And that's one process, and then that then translates to the studio, and I bring someone in, an assistant with me, and everything that I've been thinking of driving and then finally dancing, I started throwing people, just throw it in pieces, and I'm like a sporadic choreographer, you know, like I'm never from, let's start at the beginning and then we're gonna end up in the end, you know. I'm like, okay, well here's something that feels good right here, okay, here's something that's great at the beginning, okay, well maybe we could do this right here, okay, boom, okay, well, ooh, this is good, you know. And then, you know, by the end of the day I have, you know, painted this picture.
That's amazing.
And sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's good. And this is the next part. This is the next part of it. Then I'm like, that's shitty. And then I'm like, okay, you know, they always laugh at me because I can be really into it. And then in the moment, I'm like, okay, I'm done dancing for the day. And literally rehearsal's done. Like in that moment, like
shut down, finish.
And I'm like, we'll come back tomorrow, you know, just because I don't force it.
Yeah, you're not in the zone.
If it's not there anymore, okay, boom. Okay, it's great.
Yeah.
We'll come back tomorrow.
Right, okay. Oh, wow. So would you say obviously you're like an all-rounder, but what do you feel like currently now, what is your movement like boundaries? What is your movement now? Is it like more of a Afro vibe, dance hall? Is it like a hip hop meets jazz? Like, what would you say you're more into like right now or lately?
I think right now, oh my God, it changes with the songs too. But right now, you know, part of my issue is I really don't know what it is I do. You know, the style to me is like country backyard fried chicken, soulful movement. Like that's how.
But that's you. That's why you are you. That is your brand. That's you. So. You know,
so that's part of the issue. You know, this is too much countryness and southernness in it. But you know, right now I'm really on expanding the movement. You know, and I'm really into full movement. You know, rounder movement. You know, and filling the space. You know, I'm really into records that have a great bottom heavy bass lines or 808s, whatever, and becoming that, you know, that's my thing now.
Right.
And then I'm loving, you know, people, melodies. Oh my God, SZA melodies on records are really inspiring to me to move because her flow is sick and she switches it up, and I'm like, boom, you know, flow and movement can be the same, you know. And it's still round and it's still heavy, you know, and it's still attitude-y, you know, so it's a bit of everything still, you know. It's still that funk, it's still that street, it's still real, it's still flamboyant at times, you know. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. I love that. You don't stick to like one genre. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not like, okay, so I'm going to dance to this song, and this is what that style has to be just for that song. Yeah. I feel like you combined every damn thing, and it's just in there.
Yeah, and
I love that. It's raw. It's raw. Do you know what I mean? There's no like. Boundaries.
Yeah, 0. And there's no rules now, you know?
Yeah.
If people can just do whatever they want, I feel like I should be able to do
Yeah,
whatever
well,
I
hell
want.
yeah, hell yeah. What? Of course, what? Of course.